Hi, my name is Dr. Kingsley Chibos Ago. By now, you have identified a real problem. You have validated it, you have tested it manually, you have seen real behavior. Now, let's talk about something many founders avoid: charging. Let me say this clearly. If no one is willing to pay for your solution, you do not yet have a business. You may have attention, you may have interest, you may also have likes and encouragement. But a business is validated when someone puts money on the table. Money is the strongest form of validation. And this is where many founders become uncomfortable. They say, let me build everything first, or let me grow users first, or let me make it free for now. That feels safe, right? But it is actually risky. Free users gives compliments. Paying users gives commitment. When someone pays, even a small amount, they are saying, this problem matters enough to me that I am willing to exchange money for a solution. That is real validation. Now, understand this. You are not charging for your time. You are not charging for how hard you work. You are charging for the problem you remove. Think about a headache tablet. It does not charge based on how long it took to produce. It charges for relief, for removing pain. The same principle applies to your solution. What stress are you removing? What frustration are you reducing? What inefficiency are you eliminating? Pricing is not greed. Pricing is clarity. Even at an early stage, even during manual testing, you can charge. It doesn't need to be complex. It can be a simple flat fee, a small service charge, a commission on successful transaction, or a basic subscription. The goal is not to maximize profit immediately. The goal is to test willingness to pay, because charging early protects you. It prevents you from building something people only like but don't truly value. It filters serious users from curious observers. It forces you to define exactly what you are offering and why it matters. Free attracts curiosity, but price attracts seriousness. And something powerful continues to happen within this training. Some viewers who reached out for validation and support are not just identifying problems anymore. They are now thinking like business builders. The example I mentioned last week, the one focused on relationship and marriages, an area that has turned into a chain of mistrust and dishonesty across Africa, has now moved to the next level. After validating the behavior and mapping the friction, the conversation is no longer, is this a real problem? That question has been answered. The question now is, how should value be structured? What exactly should people pay for? What pricing model creates seriousness, trust, and commitment? That shift from idea to pricing is the difference between a concept and a business. Because once you start thinking about charging, everything becomes clearer. You define the core value, you remove unnecessary features, you focus on what truly matters. That is progress. And that is how you reduce risk while increasing confidence. I have accepted to mentor and provide incubation support for this idea, and in due course, I will share more information about the product. This proves something important. When you follow the steps, problem discovery, validation, discipline building, and early pricing, you don't just create ideas, you create businesses. So this week, I want you to reflect deeply. If you had to charge tomorrow, what would you charge for? Not what would you build, what would you charge for? That question forces clarity about your real value. Next week, we will talk about positioning and differentiation. Because once you charge, you must clearly explain why your solution is different and why it deserves attention. Keep building intelligently. This is how real businesses are formed. Thank you.